Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
What up?
What is up, man? Y'all done planting?
I finished today.
I'll be damned.
I did. I finished today. Now I'm just helping Dad finish his up.
Yeah, I saw they were over at my parents' place.
Yeah, we moved him. I got him moved in there this afternoon, and I lacked 4 acres. I planted those this morning.
There you go.
I ran out. The goal was planning to finish yesterday, and I was like, I even had backed my population down. I was like, man, I'm going to finish beans today, and I ran out with 4 acres to go. I said, damn it. And shout out to my man Keith over at Helena. I called him. It was like, this was like 7:20 at night. And I just called and I was like, hey man, can I get like individual bags? Cause I said, I need enough beans for literally like 5 acres. And he said, I think we could probably find you some. And he said, you want me to bring them to you right now? And I said, no. I mean, and he would have done it. So I want to give him a shout out there.
I worked on one of his dogs this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you kill it?
No. No, contrary to what Logan
Bobby Lee kills 80% of his clients.
Every time he calls me and I'm at work, I'm like, he's like, well, what are you killing now? I'm like, look, that's not all we do. Thankfully, it's a very small percentage of what we do.
Is it a small percentage?
Yeah, like today, I didn't put anything down today.
Really?
Yeah.
How many days in a normal week? How many animals do you think you kill in a normal week?
When you put it like that, it sounds.
How many are you savagely murdering?
I mean,
fun.
I can run a report and tell you how many I've done like in the last year, but I'd have to be at the office. I'd say it's average of 1 a day.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, you have some days where
a lot of blood on these hands over here.
Put down 4 or 5, and then you have some times you might miraculously go a whole week.
Dang, 4 or 5. Do you have like shell shock when you go home?
That would be a exceptional, day.
Exception, like a good day.
No, like exception to the rule.
Oh. I thought you meant like you were like, this is exceptionally good. I've killed a lot of dogs today.
No, it's just an exception. Actually today, I'm trying to think. I had a pretty big surgery we did late on Tuesday that went home today.
Oh, nice.
Happy ending. I mean, it's not totally over, but it looks to be on the mend, stuff like that. So,
well, Bobby Lee will, unfortunately, you'll probably be killing a dog for me before long.
Well, gosh, man, we're starting this one off.
We're just going dark, man. Yeah, old Bear, man. I just don't know.
We were talking the other day. You were talking about how he still gets frisky and wants to play.
He does love, but he's like I told you, he pants all the time. He is drinking a tremendous amount of water.
Well, we might ought to check that out. That could be like diabetes or.
Yeah.
Is he still eating good?
He eats like a savage.
It might be more like Cushing's disease.
Yeah. And
if he's panting, he's drinking a ton, and he's eating a ton. That's 3 big check boxes for
nothing
Cushing's
brings him
disease.
More joy in his life than dinner time. Like at dinner time, that dude is so obnoxious that you're like, God, get out of here.
And so he's in the house, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he having accidents? Like,
no,
because he's drinking so much.
No, he never has an accident.
Did you say he was drinking more than normal?
It's Marcy and I made the remark because we got one of those big, because him and Penny share.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
And so, but I'm having to fill it up a lot more than I remembered. So it seems like they're going through water faster.
I mean, Cushing's is one of those, we don't need to. Nobody's tuning in to get a lecture on hyperadrenocorticism in the canine. But,
well, that's what I was suspecting. I was like, it's definitely hyperchondrinism.
We're going to do our top 3 list. Top 3 endocrinopathies of small animals.
Well, number 1 is hypochondrinism.
Well, now there's a big difference between hypo and hyper. So
yeah, no, this is low, so it'd be hypo.
No. But if he's drinking a lot, panting, and eating a lot, it's hyperadrenocorticism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But now isn't hypo low and hyper is high?
Yeah.
All right. There you go. See, I know a little bit there. No, I don't. And look, I'm going to be really sad. Bear, for people that don't know, Bear is.
I mean, just to be real, like the whole Father Time is undefeated. How old is he now?
He's 13 years old.
I mean, it is.
And he's a chocolate lab. That's pretty
it is
good
good
age.
and right for anybody. Like 99% of my clients are like, oh yeah. But every now and then I got some of them people that are like, oh man, this thing's good. Like, and they're kind of being serious, but not really. Like, no, I want you to be sure he lives forever. And I'm like,
I have accepted that Bear's time is coming because, I mean, like I said, for a chocolate lab, he's pretty old.
Yeah.
And he still does. He gets around, but like, I can tell he's actually he is almost totally deaf.
And you see labs get to like 15, maybe even 16. Now that is the exception.
Yeah.
That's not the rule. That is exceptional when
Yeah.
you get there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd Penny, my golden retriever. I feel like she kind of did help him out because we got her when he was probably, she's 2.
Made him young.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but no.
That's why when you get to be 80, you got
I need a young gal.
Yeah. You got to find a 25-year-old.
That's right. That's why Al Pacino, he's like 80. He's got like a 2-year-old kid.
Yeah. Well, which I heard the joke that Brother Peter said in one of y'all's last episodes.
Which one?
Pretty sure it was him. The one about like the 85-year-old man goes to the doctor and he's all excited. Says, "Doc, you won't ever believe it. I just got my young wife pregnant."
Oh, yes. Yes. And what does he say?
He says, "Well, let me tell you a story." He said there was a guy like on an African safari, or hiking in Africa or something, and all he had was a walking cane. This lion charges him, and he throws up the cane like he's going to shoot it, and just miraculously it goes bang, and the lion drops dead. And the old man says to the doctor, "Somebody else shot that lion." He said, "Now you understand."
Yes. Yes. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did I tell the one about Lorena Bobbitt?
I don't know. I've heard that was like prime, like when I was like in elementary school. Like we thought it wasn't awesome, but like it was perfect humor for a person of my age whenever that happened.
It is.
For those of you that don't know, she cut off her husband's manhood.
Yeah, cut his wiener off.
Yeah.
I was like, Banks, have you ever heard of her?
No, never. Yeah, it's been way, like, what year was it?
Oh, gosh.
I thought that's what you're looking at.
No, I actually it was probably was it in the 90s?
I would say like mid 90s if I was, I'll look it up.
Well, so I got a joke about it. So, yeah, while you look up what year? The dude actually did porn afterwards.
Well, I knew he like got it stitched back on.
Yeah, I think he was like, add a few inches to it.
93.
Okay, 93.
Yep, I'd have been 10 years old. Yep.
Yeah. So,
severed John's penis with a kitchen knife while he was asleep in bed.
He had to be a little intoxicated or something.
God dang, yeah.
Yeah, could you imagine?
I don't care how dead I'm asleep. I wouldn't know that because my wife has never woken me up.
Chopping your wiener off?
Definitely not that, but even something more along the lines of.
All right, so let's say
I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, any handling of me while I'm asleep, I'm gonna wake up real quick.
I would imagine I'm be the same. All right, so this is an alternate version. Her and her husband are riding in a car down the highway. And while they're driving, they get into this argument. And just while they're driving, she just reaches over and she chops his wiener off, throws it out the window of the car. And there just so happens to be a father and a daughter in the car behind them on the highway. And the dude's wiener flies back and it hits the windshield. And the dad goes, God. And the daughter she's young. And she goes, whoa, Daddy, what was that? And he goes, it was, I don't know. He said some kind of bug, I guess. And it flies off the windshield. And she goes, well, whatever kind of bug it was, it had the biggest dick I've ever seen.
Oh, me. Okay.
So, yeah, I couldn't remember if I had shared that one on here or not. I heard it like a couple of weeks ago and I was like, I have got to share that one. Yeah. So for our listeners out there, we want you to do a couple of things. First, we want you to protect your manhood. Don't let your woman chop it off while you're sleeping. And for our lady listeners out there, don't chop your man's wiener off.
If you got a problem, y'all need to talk it out.
Yeah.
Like, don't resort to violence.
That's right. That's right. And then the other thing we want you to do is we want you to hit that like button, hit subscribe, comment below on YouTube, on Spotify, wherever you're listening, and leave us those ratings and reviews. 5-star ratings on those platforms help out a lot. Do that. And In a second, I'll get to some of the comments. But first, Bobby Lee wants to tell you about something.
Yeah, check out agzaga.com. We're officially in hay baling season here. I rolled some yesterday using net wrap that I got from our good friends at agzaga.com. But that's not all they've got. They've got a wide selection of dang near anything you need around the house or certainly on the farm or ranch. Use the discount code TALKDIRT20, $20 off that $50 minimum order.
That's right. All right. So we got some comments I wanted to address here. First of all, I don't want to keep getting all that backflow into the setup here. All right. Dang it. I don't know if our listeners can even hear that, but
a little bit of static.
Yeah. I need it where I can read it here. So this was one I thought was interesting. And this guy, he's a good listener. He listens to a lot. I've seen him comment a lot. We appreciate all the comments. But in our last episode, we got talking about E15.
Oh yeah, I saw that comment.
Yeah. And like I said, he's been a good listener. Like it's not, I don't think
we're up for debate.
We are. So we don't take this like in any way like he was hating on us. He said, sorry, but I'm not a fan of using good ground to fuel vehicles, whether that be ethanol or solar panels. And if a station goes to E15, it is highly unlikely that it will simply be an additional offering because that would require installing an additional tank. So I appreciate your comment. And I understand, like I get the thought of like, well, I don't want this, prime ground for making fuel, but it's actually not going to take away anything. It's not like solar panels is taking the ground out of production.
Yeah.
This is in no way taking away from the production. This is actually helping utilize the production.
Well, and let the market decide where the grain goes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a lot more noble to think, wow, I'm farming this ground and it's going to provide sustenance to someone so that they don't go to bed hungry tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Or a few nights.
But I like to think, I honestly enjoy like, man, what I'm growing is hopefully going to lower gas prices 30 cents to the gallon.
Yeah. That's, and then in turn, that's helping.
Then they can buy better groceries.
Well, and like, I disagreed with him from that angle too. Cause it's like, look, when you haul corn to the elevator, I mean, I guess some people do haul it to like ethanol plants and places like that. So they know exactly what it's going into, but you don't care where that corn ends up. I mean, if it's fed to chickens that end up at Chick-fil-A or cattle that end up at the supermarket, or hell, if it goes to China and feeds a bunch of pigs, who gives a damn?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
I just want there to be demand for it.
Yeah. I mean,
and this is just demand.
And so his whole thing is like fuel is not as important as food.
I don't know. I guess I understand, like I said, and he said whether that be ethanol or solar panels.
Well,
so I get
I'm not a huge fan. If the consumer wants more ethanol, like I don't know. But of course, the reality right now is we have just way too much corn. We need corn, all that supply sopped up by something, whether it's fed to animals, turned into fuel.
Yeah.
And two, the corn that goes into ethanol, a byproduct of that is DDGs, which end up being fed to animals. Like
yeah.
It's not an end all, because I really don't understand. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, if
I understand losing ground to solar panels is a bad thing because it's taking it out of production.
Oh yeah, that ground will never come back into that ground will only ever be useful for
solar panels.
Right. An energy source that by all accounts we think is extremely inefficient.
Yes.
And I understand ethanol has its concerns, especially with small engines and things.
We got a guy that helps us on the farm that he heats his shop with corn.
Yeah.
He buys a thing of corn from us every year, I think we just give him a thing of corn because he helps us. And that's what he heats his shop with. Yeah, and I'm like, hell, I think it's cool. Yeah.
We're sitting here enjoying
some corn liquor. Yeah.
I mean, clearly that's not a, hell,
it's actually,
I love it. But I mean, yeah, right.
It's not even a healthy,
right. Corn shouldn't, I mean, then you can say, well, corn syrup is terrible for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really and truthfully, corn is not good for you, really. I mean, you just basically chew it up and eat it and shit it out. But I love corn. But as a guy, I mean, I've got corn. Corn is my favorite crop to grow.
Yeah, I'd love to hear him expound on that, because obviously energy is everything. Like whether you're talking ethanol, oil, wind, solar, nuclear, whatever. Like energy is. I mean, especially with all these data centers and everything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's. I mean, yeah, you could argue that humans have existed for a long time before we had liquid fuels, and life was sustained, but we had to have food, and that would be true. But still, like in this day and age, like I don't know, like any way you're getting energy in an efficient way.
Well, and it's even, I mean,
it's valuable to me.
Ethanol is for the people that get hung up on the green thing. Ethanol is a pretty green source of fuel as well. Like I think it actually is one of the cleaner burning fuels.
Well,
and I know,
yeah, I'd love to hear his angle there, because then I could then say, well, why are we growing cotton? Like,
we would like to understand. Yeah,
like you can go look at my closet. I have plenty of clothes. Now, I could probably live the rest of my life and never buy another piece of clothing.
Yeah,
and it'd be fine. So, do we really need more cotton?
Yeah,
like I don't need. Like I might eventually wear out. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna live. But I might wear out all my blue jeans and need another pair.
Shit, if you're like me, you wear out blue jeans. Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, obviously cotton is used like in the medical field. And things like that. But it's like, I don't know. Do you say, well, cotton's not as important. Fiber's not as important as food.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can make that argument.
I don't know. Yeah, Oak, if you would write in, we'd honestly like to know why. Why do you not want? So he then here said, if a station goes to E15, it is highly unlikely that it will simply be an additional offering.
I think you might have a point there.
But apparently, like in Iowa and some of those states, they do have multiple offerings.
I'm sure like your big ass, like, call them like a truck stop.
We've even got them here that have non-ethanol. We've got a few non-ethanol. There is one actually in Shelby County that's non-ethanol and ethanol and diesel. Like they got, so it would require it would require an additional tank. But I mean,
how about your big like truck stop travel center type places where there's 85 pumps? Those would be ones that would have potentially, all the offerings, non-ethanol,
Europe,
E10, E15.
Europe or one of those countries I was reading, they have 20 to 30% ethanol fuel. And it actually is, I think it said it was 60 to 90 cents a gallon cheaper.
Well,
and a car, if it's 2001 or newer, can run well off of it.
Yeah, I'd be interested. Like my Jeep is an 02.
It's supposed to be able to do it.
Yeah, which I guess E85 was a thing at one time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And what was that?
I mean, that's like,
was it 85% ethanol?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that anymore.
Was it Chevrolet that had them? Because they even had like the little emblem on the side.
Yeah, they had like the little leaf or something, I think, with it.
I guess they could run off E85, so which I take that to mean like something like my old Jeep would not fare well with E85.
No, and I don't know. And look, I'm on small motors, and even if they go E15, from my understanding, they don't recommend it on small engines. Because I don't run any ethanol in my small motors. On all my like weed eater, chainsaws, all that, I run non-ethanol gas.
Anything carbureted, like that.
Yeah. So, but no, I am curious. I'm intrigued. Again, we're truly asking. Like, we'd love for you to expound on that.
He may have an angle there that I hadn't thought of.
Yeah. So, another good one here on our top 3 from last week. Top 3 actresses. Our man Doug. He said 3 nominations for actresses: Kelsey Asbill. Oh, that was Monica Dutton. All right, so Monica Dutton was very attractive, but I couldn't stand her.
I replied to him. I was like, dude, she was the worst non-villain on the TV show.
He said agree.
Her character was awful.
Yeah, I couldn't stand her.
She's just always crying and acting like a bitch.
Have you seen Wind River?
No.
Well, she's in Wind River. That was actually Taylor Sheridan's first movie.
Okay.
And she's in it, and she meets a horrible fate. But I actually liked her in it. You actually feel really bad for her in that one.
Well, and I feel kind of bad for her in Yellowstone. But
why?
Yeah, because she plays the victim the whole damn time.
She does.
She kind of ruins any sympathy you have.
She hates. It's like, well, look at this badass ranch we've inherited. She's like, I hate it, and like wants to live in this little shitty thing on in a shitty area. And
have you watched Marshalls? I've watched episode 1, but you might like it because she gets killed off.
That's what I heard because I knew I hadn't seen her.
I assume she just because she doesn't even show up in it at all.
Okay,
but there's kind of the backstory how she's.
So she just didn't want to be in it.
Everybody, I assume that she was like, "No, I've got other things to do."
Yeah.
And Taylor's like, "All right, well, you die a horrible death."
Well, and Tug's on the same page with you, Allie Larder.
Yeah,
Angela and Landman, and she is bad. I just finished season 2 of Landman. Man, she is built for speed.
Yeah.
And then he says Diane Lane as Lorena in Lonesome Dove. I don't remember that, to be honest with you. I haven't watched it in so long. Which one is she?
She's the hooker that travels with them. That
okay.
Well, she's the prostitute. Runs off with Jake Spoon, but Gus has a soft spot for her the whole time. Of course, he's always just trying to get him a poke.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Jake was going to take her to San Francisco, but Jake was just a gambler and,
bastard.
He ended up taking up with them horse thieves, and that's why they had to hang him.
Gotcha. Well, Colt writes in, top 3, Rosie O'Donnell, Jane Fonda, and Whoopi Goldberg. Does anyone else agree?
Yeah. I smell a troll.
All right, if you had to screw, kill, and marry, what's your ratings going to be on that one? Screw, kill, marry, Rosie O'Donnell, Jane Fonda, and Whoopi Goldberg. I know mine. I'm on screw Jane Fonda. I'm going to kill Rosie O'Donnell, and I'll marry Whoopi Goldberg.
I think that's probably solid because Whoopi probably has money. They've all got money.
I can't imagine being married to any of them because Jane Fonda was a bleeding heart liberal too. But
can you have a Bill and Hillary type marriage where
you just have mistresses all over the place?
Well, like you're rarely even in the same state together.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Being
you're just married on paper. I've got a wife somewhere.
Yeah, that would be.
I assume it's probably to play along with that. It can't be that casual because
you got to be actively married. Yeah, you got to go on vacation together,
dinner and stuff.
Ugh, Whoopi Goldberg. Ugh.
Yeah,
you got to have you got to make love to her too.
Not necessarily.
This is a sexually active marriage.
Well, then why is there the?
Well, you have sex with the chick before you're married, with the Jane Fonda. So you'd have sex with her, then you'd murder Rosie O'Donnell.
Well, then I'd marry Jane Fonda because I'd rather repeatedly have sex with her.
But I think she's personality wise, I think she might be the worst.
I don't know.
She's not worse than Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Whoopi, when she's not being an idiot, I feel like there's times when she would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I could get that.
Yeah. But I imagining her naked is a horrible image. Jane Fonda is the only one she would be remotely attractive in that group.
Oh yeah. No, that's not debatable. Yeah.
So I don't know that anybody's going to agree with your list, Colt.
You might be right. Whoopi might, as long as you just didn't talk
politics.
Yeah.
Or maybe you would. Maybe that'd be kind of fun.
Oh God, I would hate having just every night, arguing about politics with my wife.
Now, last one here, the good old Lampley brothers. He commented, he said, really disappointed. Neither one of you mentioned Catherine Bach, Daisy Duke, and that is a gold standard one there. And then he said Sally Fields and Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, yeah.
I love his justification. He said, Sally had fat calves and farmers love fat calves. She did have she had good legs in that movie. And she was good looking back then. But But I'm messed up with Sally Field because I just picture Forrest Gump I picture her as the old mother in Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to picture her as a sexy gal when I picture her as life is it's like a box of chocolates, Forrest. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
So there you go.
When I think of her, I think more Smokey and the Bandit. I think because I've seen Smokey and the Bandit. I think I've watched Forrest Gump once.
I do. I love it. I love Smokey and the Bandit. I showed Levi that movie recently, and he was laughing. Man, he thought it was awesome.
I don't know how many times I've actually sat down and watched the whole thing, but I have sat and watched bits and pieces of it on TV numerous times. Again, Forrest Gump's 3 hours long.
Yeah, Forrest Gump's a great one.
I think I've watched it one time.
It was
a great movie. But
the greatest villain of all films is in that movie.
Jenny.
Jenny. Yeah, she keeps abandoning Forrest. She has a kid by the guy. She doesn't let him see him for like the first 5 or 6 years of his life. She gets AIDS and then comes crawling back to him. Like, she's terrible.
Well, at that point, I think she knew she was dying. And
Yeah, so she's like, I need this filthy rich bastard that I've abandoned and never let him see his son to suddenly take me in.
Well, I think it was maybe more to take the son. What you could say, yeah, you didn't even want him in his life until you realized you weren't going to be there to raise him anymore.
Yeah, she wanted the dude that was in the Black Panthers to be like her father that Forrest whoops up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Jenny sucks. Anyways.
But do you blame it all on her because she had such an abusive childhood?
I blame it all on her roots.
Showed up in boots?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. We're going off the rails.
That's all right. That's all right.
First 20 minutes in.
We got some stuff we want to address in this episode, but while we're doing the top 3, we're going to go ahead into it. And again, if you guys hate that we do this, let us know. If you don't, then
it's too bad because I've thought of several top 3s that I want us to do.
Do you have one tonight?
Actually, somebody suggested one, and I tried to find their comments.
Was it on the best equipment?
No, it was top movie one-liners or quotable or movie quotes. And I couldn't remember exactly how they framed it. It was like the most quotable lines from movie or like most memorable quotes. And I'm sorry, whoever did it. I thought they commented on Spotify. So I went back through like our last several episodes on Spotify to find it. I couldn't find it. I went through our YouTube. So I don't even know where. Then I'm like, well, did they send me a message on Instagram? Like I
almost feel like I've seen it, but I don't remember where.
Maybe they commented on one of our Instagram reels. I can't remember. But so
either way, that's a great one.
Apologies to whoever that was. So yeah, you go.
All right. But before we get into that though, I do want to let everybody know we got some good ag stuff to hit on to, so don't run off.
Yeah.
All right. So top 3 one-liners.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how it worked. I took it as like memorable movie quotes.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I got several already.
Because I've been thinking about this most of the day. I'm like, oh man, like
damn. And seeing, I'm getting put on the spot. So this is pushing my movie knowledge right here. My first one is an easy one, and actually, I'm gonna try to not have all 3 of them be by the same actor. But
I know who you're going with.
Arnold.
Yeah. Because I've got 2 or 3 of his, so you might be about to take some of them.
Well, the first one. You listen to the church podcast, so you know this is my life. This is what I live by. And this is from Conan the Barbarian. And he says the 3 rules for living. And that is crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. That is my life way of living. Then
such a violent person.
The second one, I could quote Arnold. A very memorable quote. I remember this as a kid when I would watch The Terminator with my dad, and I was probably 9. And there's this scene when he's sitting in the hotel room, and he has just picked his eye out because he got like some shot in it. And I remember it was always, man, it was creepy. Like he's sitting there and there's flies buzzing around his head, and the janitor is walking down the hall outside, and you can tell it stinks. So obviously he's starting to stink in there.
Yeah.
And the janitor knocks on the door and goes, "Hey, buddy, well, you got a dead cat in there?" And then it shows it from Arnold's perspective, and these several responses pop up in his vision. And it's like, "No, sir, no dead cat." And then he goes down the list, and you see him pick one, and he turns and goes, "Fuck you, asshole." And like, it was like, I just remember at like 9 years old being like, wow, like, just shocked. So hell, I'm going to go with that one. That's my number 2. And number 3, all right, I got to think outside the box here. Hell, shit, why? I'm just going to continue the Arnold trend. Number 3, it has to be in The Predator whenever he hears his boy Dylan talking in the background. Oh man, now I'm getting flooded.
This is just gonna be our top 3 Arnold quotes.
It is.
No, I've got a couple that aren't Arnold.
I'm getting flooded with Arnold ones now.
We'll go ahead and do 5. Go ahead and do 5.
So he hears him talk, and he turns around and he goes, "Dylan, you son of a bitch." And they clasp hands and do the iconic flex.
Yeah. That's another good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, actually, I got one right here. I'm going to play it straight from Arnold himself.
You're a fucking choir boy compared to me. A choir boy.
I love that quote too. I don't even remember where I got that one for the board, but I was like, I got to throw it on there.
What movie is that?
Oh shit! You asked me that last time. Never fails.
Yep.
Always some loud ass vehicle going by.
Sounds like old Cummins.
It does. Damn it! What is that one? It's it may be End of Days. When have you seen that one? When he fights the devil?
No.
It may be End of Days, but I can't remember. And then what is a good one? I'm trying to think. I'm kind of going through different. You could do I might take one of yours if I'm trying to think right here. Fine. Is it, were you going to say it's not a tumor?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go with that one. I'm leaving you a classic one.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. I'm leaving you a classic in Predator that I did not say.
Okay.
That I've got a feeling you might say.
I don't have a Predator one.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, get to the chopper.
Okay. Yeah. No. That was one I thought of, but I was kind of thinking of it as like one-liners I use. And
you don't say that at work and stuff?
I've never once needed to get to the chopper.
I say the crush your enemies thing. I say that one quite a bit.
Well, like in the Kindergarten Cop, it's not a tumor.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately,
you can say that.
Right. I use it at work, but it's more if I'm like, it's a tumor.
It is a tumor.
That one, and then my only other Arnold one was, and I don't know why I do this. Like I'm just goofy and cheesy, but like when I leave to go to lunch,
I knew
a lot of days I'll say, in the words of Arnold, I'll be back.
I was gonna say I knew it. Yeah.
I don't know why. But
so what's your non-Arnold one?
So I think I gotta go Anchorman.
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
60% of the time it works every time.
Yeah.
Like everybody uses that. I think people that don't even realize what movie it came from use that.
That is, it's just
it
science.
Almost gets overused at this point.
Where'd you get those pants? The toilet store? There's a lot of good ones from.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Yes.
It really got out of hand. You could quote that movie all day long.
A lot of Will Ferrell, yeah.
One, I think I use it here. Old Joe Dirt, Life's a Garden, you dig it.
That's right. Yep.
You got to keep on keeping on.
All right, that's 4. You got one more.
Another one that I just love, and it's really not a movie quote, but it, kind of, your philosophy on life, mine, get her done.
Get her done. Larry the Cable Guy.
As goofy and silly as that is, like, when I got something that just sucks, or
it's really a good quote. I mean, it does. Right, you just get her done.
Right. When inevitably tomorrow morning about 9 a.m., we're going to have like 18 people waiting to be
18
seen.
dogs to kill, and Bobby Lee's going to be like,
we're
get her
saving
done.
all of them. And everybody's like, oh my God, like we're so, like, just get it done.
Yeah.
I'm like, just
get her done.
Go see the next one. Take care of them. Be sure you know.
Well, next time your response should just be, fuck you, asshole.
And I'll be like, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. Y'all,
and then just leave.
Y'all handle this shit on your own now.
Yeah. There you go. Dude,
that was pretty good. Apologies to whoever, because I was giving them a shout out that, hey, very good topic.
That was.
And we could go on and on and on. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
easily. We want you guys to comment and let us know what y'all's are. If they're, one-liners or whatever, top 3, top 5 movie quotes. I don't care how many they are. Share them to us because I love these kind of things. So
we didn't even get into any like Clint and John Wayne.
Clint, or you could go with the you can't handle the truth. Just a good classic hardliner there. There's a bunch. So do that. Let us know that. All right. So there's a pretty big thing going on right now in the ag world. Are you aware? You will be when I say it.
There was one kind of relatively big story on the cattle side early in the week.
It's not cattle related.
It never really became the story we thought it could have. So I was assuming that wasn't what you're talking about. I'll talk about that one next. What you got?
So, Trump is in China.
Yes, because I had heard, Corbett was talking about this morning how the Chinese were really like rolling out the red carpet for him.
Yeah, they had like strippers and everything out there when he got off the plane.
Yeah,
they were doing naked cartwheels.
They did the research.
Yeah, that's true. he would probably be like, deal. Yeah, if he got out and saw that.
No, the tariffs have been lifted.
Yeah. No, but you know who was on the plane with him?
Brooke, I'm assuming.
No.
Like flying to China.
Yeah.
Or Melania.
The president of Cargill. So there's a lot of hopeful speculation that this is going to mean that obviously ag, which we know because they've been talking about it, ag is kind of like, it might be the number one topic of this trip.
That'd be cool.
Ag, energy, and something else. And Xi, is that how you say it? How do you say it? X-I? Xi. Yeah, President Giro of China. He has pretty much said he wants, like, he actually is like, we want to make a deal. We want to get this thing back going. So they're really trying, and there's a lot of ag people that are speculating that this could be pretty promising for ag. The problem that we're seeing, though, is if China does agree, okay, we're going to buy more soybeans or whatever, they still got a long way to go to ever get back to where we were. Like, Brazil is still in the picture, and that's still who China's going to buy the bulk of their grain from.
Well, and pardon me, and I don't know exactly how these deals work, and I'm sure just the news that they had struck a deal, the market.
Oh, it would.
But then it's like, all right, I want to see that first barge, or ocean liner or whatever, taken out off across the Pacific. I mean, is it like, don't tell me, show me. That's another one liner that my old football coach used to say.
Don't tell me, show me.
Don't tell me, show me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're going to buy some grain. Show me you're going to buy.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
There you go. See, Coach Powers. I don't know if
did he tell you that one?
No, but he would say, "Don't tell me, show me." I'm pretty sure it was more like when somebody would be like, "Put me in, coach. I can catch."
Yeah.
Or I'll catch the ball.
Well, let's see. Well, I was going to say, it'd be weird. I feel like if your football coach taught you that, like, a grower, not a shower, that'd be kind of weird.
I don't think there was any reference to anything.
That'd be like so what was it, Sandusky's kind of shit?
That's our buddies up, yeah.
Was that Ohio?
Pennsylvania.
All right.
Oh, man, we pissed off Pennsylvania and Ohio.
Oh, man. So, yeah, it's funny because I don't even, y'all know how little I watch sports, and I know I've heard all about old Sandusky. But so here's the deal on this meeting. So they're actually literally meeting today. And the good news, Chinese.
You mean on Friday? Because it's already Friday.
No, they got there last night. And so it was like 8:15 China time, which is like, I think it rolled in at some point, I think today, or it actually might have been.
Okay, so we can make this real, because we're recording on Thursday night. So they got there on Wednesday night?
Yeah, they got there yesterday. So that would be, Wednesday. Because I was listening.
Was it yesterday here or there?
Well, actually, it would have been.
Because today is today here, but it's tomorrow there.
Yeah, it would have been today here yesterday.
Okay, I'm just.
Now you got.
I can't.
You got me.
I'm like that guy that was all confused with the board.
You got me. I quoted a movie quote to my daughter tonight that you just made me think of. We went to eat, and I don't know, I had gotten some sushi, and she had this. We went to tacos versus sushi. So we literally had Chinese, Japanese, and Mexican all on the table. I had some sushi, and she was eating the standard chicken, cheese, and rice, which is what my kids get like most of the time.
You know what? And I get on to my kids because I get that too. And they literally, your kids order it? What do they say they want?
Chicken, cheese, and rice.
I'm like, my kids do the same thing. And I like.
Do you say Plato Felix?
I'm like, order what it says on the fucking menu.
Yeah.
Like.
Get Plato Felix. No, we did. But my wife even says it. That drives me crazy.
Also, and this is me ranting for a second. So, yes, we have a place called Tacos versus Sushi. It's very redneck. In rural West Tennessee, you have these places. So you walk in this place, and it's really great. The people there are great.
And the food's good.
But it's usually a Hispanic lady taking your order. So I've got, a wife and two redneck kids at a Japanese/Mexican restaurant trying to order Japanese food from a lady who speaks Spanish.
Oh, yeah, it's tricky.
And my kids and their redneck dialect voice and then the menu's like 18 pages long.
It is. There's a million things.
I'm the pickiest eater you'll ever find. I find something on the menu I want. And they tried to like custom special order something. In speaking redneck English, ordering a Japanese dish, they're special ordering from a Hispanic lady.
That's a good point.
I'm like, y'all, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Like there's zero chance this order comes out right. The menu's 18 pages long. Find one thing on there that fits the criteria for what you like and order it.
Just don't modify.
Don't like try to custom. I want the grilled salmon, but instead of, but that's what they want. I'm like, are you shitting me?
Yeah, I keep it
like
simple.
this poor lady's looking at you like you have 3 heads and just nodding and writing something down.
Yeah.
Like,
No, well, that's what my kids usually get: chicken, cheese, and rice. Levi did get hibachi steak.
Plato Felix.
Yeah, Plato Felix. I got General Tso's chicken. I actually went Chinese tonight. I was like, I'm going to change it up. I've never gotten anything there that wasn't good. But I say that to say, why was I going to say that? Oh, no, I quoted a movie line to her. So we had sushi rolls. And I was like, Emerson, get you a sushi roll. She said, I'll get one when I finish eating all this, which I know. She will never finish eating all this. She never finishes eating all of this stuff. And so I said, Emerson, I know that you won't eat that all, so why don't you get one? And I said, I know you know you, and you know that I know you. And like, that's the quote from Dodgeball.
Ben Stiller. Yeah.
Yes. I know you know you, you know that I know you. And I think it even goes a step further, and you know that I know you, or like something, he like even pushes it further.
Of her not ordering something that she's not going to actually eat.
Yeah, no, she just ate her chicken, cheese, and rice.
Plato Felix.
And then,
like I tell my kids, I'm like, how weird would it be if I was like, I want one of those flour tortillas with some crumbled up ground beef with seasoning,
the ingredients
with some shredded cheese and a little lettuce.
So it'd be tortilla, beef, cheese, and lettuce.
Yeah, a tortilla, beef, cheese, and lettuce.
Yeah, because you got to say it all like that.
We call that a taco around here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what they get, man. That's how they order it.
Oh, mine do too. Yeah. And I'm like, it literally has the name right there on the menu.
They just don't want to look for it.
I mean, do your kids even have to? I don't even open the menu when I go to the Mexican restaurant.
Well, Levi,
I have about 7 or 8 different things I'll order, but I know, like, I just sit there and think, which one do I want to order tonight?
Levi will venture out sometimes, but he's a spicy food guy. He likes hot stuff. And he has gotten where he'll get, instead of chicken, he'll get steak.
Oh, well,
so he's venturing into the steak world. When you get
the Plato Felix, you can get it with chicken or steak.
Yeah, he gets it with steak a lot of times.
When he goes to Casa, he needs to get the tacos de adobado. I think's how you say it.
Is that steak tacos?
It's pork.
Okay.
But it comes with this sauce that you dip it in. It's got some kick to it. It is good.
Well, he loves hot stuff.
He would like that. It comes with, this is where I do get a little custom. I just tell him no onions on mine. Yeah. Raw onion. I'm like, I can't do the raw
Sounds
onion.
delicious. I love raw onion.
Well,
Levi loves raw onion. He eats it like an apple.
Well, it's got cilantro, avocado, raw onion, and then
I don't like avocado.
Oh, shit.
I ain't no California hippie. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes of this. I was hoping I'd have some like breaking news for you guys.
That they struck a deal. And
yeah.
Corn went to $7.
That's what I was hoping. Now
that would be bearish for cattle. So I don't necessarily need to do that.
Well, corn is on the rise.
Well, cattle are keep banging along pretty good. So yeah, they're just no cattle. It's a numbers thing.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to find. So I had I saw some comments on social media, and it sparked me thinking about a topic. All right, here it is. Actually, I found it on here. And this really, I'm kind of curious. I'm curious your take too. So we were just earlier talking about E15, and I saw it was a post. I follow RFD TV, and they had shared a thing about E15, and one of the comments, or all the comments, were actually horrendously negative. I don't know if you follow like RFD or any of these on Instagram. It's not as bad.
I do. Yeah.
All right. Well, I know you don't get on Facebook really, but like the Facebook comment sections on any ag thing are nightmare. They're just farmer hate like crazy. And they were all like, we don't want E15 ruining our motors and all this stuff. And it's like, whatever. But then there was this guy, like somebody had made a quote on there, or not a quote. Somebody just made a post and they were like, look, guys, the farmers, they need E15 because this will help, use the supply. And they were like, farmers don't want payments. They want good markets. And I've even said the same thing. And so, but this guy commented on there and he said, that is not true. He said, farmers want payments. And he said, I know that farmers want payments because he said, why else would guys be structuring their operation to have multiple entities in order to draw the largest amounts of payments? He said, if they weren't thinking in terms of wanting payments, they wouldn't be structuring their operation to receive the most amount of payments.
It's like I always say, that they're playing the game. That they did. It's like when Trump, got attacked for not paying taxes. He's like, I didn't write the tax code.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing by the rules that other people laid out for me. And again, I don't necessarily like that they do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They're just taking advantage of the system that people other than them set out for them.
Yeah.
And again, I think there's kind of a gray area there, and I don't necessarily totally agree with that. But that doesn't mean they want the payments. I mean, if the money is there, you got to take it. But like, no, we've sat here and said all along, like all that money does is just keep everything inflated.
But do you think that some of them just want it? Because I've shared on here.
Some,
when I went
there's
to
always some, no matter what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. Well, and I shared the story about the cover crops. Whenever I called up there to NRCS and was getting enrolled in the cover crop program, the dude was just shocked that I was actually asking him questions about the products and like what blends I could use and what this would do.
Most people are just doing it to get
he literally told me, he said, dude, are you actually interested in this? And I was like, yeah, I mean, what's the point? Why else would I be doing this? And he said, most guys just call and ask what pays the most.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I
think some of those might even recognize the benefits, but they're like, hey, if I'm going to do it, I want to be sure I maximize the credits that come along with it.
Yeah.
And I'm probably giving them too much benefit of the doubt, but they're doing it for, maybe it's both reasons. Like, yeah, but I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for the money.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's had me thinking. Cause I'm like, on one hand, I am trying to get my operation to a place where I truly could be like, if I get a payment, great. If I don't, great. Like it doesn't matter. Because right now, with the way that I have been basically sitting, I shared I had gotten a payment there, a couple of weeks ago or something. Hell, it was a good thing. Not that I didn't go call my buddy that runs the car dealership up here in town and tell him I wanted a new Duramax. It was like, oh God, I finally have some breathing room. I can maybe not leverage my line of credit basically is max. So it's like, oh shit. And now I got a room to actually operate until the fall. And then I'll essentially skid into the fall when hopefully I can finally start selling some crops. So it gave me a tiny, tiny bit of breathing room to get to fall. And so right now in the situation that I find myself in, I mean, I'm just being honest, the payments are welcome. But like you said, the problem is nothing comes down because it's like, well, they're going to get payments. There is now talk of another payment. I just found
it's just like when the government handed out money to everybody during COVID, that just pumped up inflation. It didn't actually make, improve anybody's quality of life or it just, everybody's selling all the goods and everything else, services, just prices just shot up. Because they got more cash. Money. Yeah, right. Like you can't just all of a sudden drop all kinds of money in an economy and that not happen.
Yeah. Well, and that's the issue is it keeps things elevated. And that's what this Josh Hoven, he's a politician. He has just introduced, I guess, a new bill or something to try to get additional disaster relief payments to farmers. and it's to the tune of about $17 billion. And it would, I don't know how much it would be per acre. They haven't gotten into that. There's going to be some specialty crops, like 2 billion or 1 billion for specialty crops. But it'd be, 15 to 16 billion going to row crop farmers. And that's what, like, one of the things I was reading, it was like, so what are we going to do? Are we just going to continuously be in a state where every 6 months they're like, all right, guys, here's another $100,000 paycheck or $150,000 paycheck or something? Like, are we just going to have to continuously get pumped this cash?
And like we talked about, where the whole purpose is simply to keep prices down, really.
Yeah.
Because it allows for farmers to still keep going along without commodity prices and therefore food prices going up. And that may be the cheaper and easier way, probably is the cheaper and easier way to keep the country as a whole fat and happy.
Yeah.
And fed. And so, I don't think that's the healthiest way for the ag economy or even the economy in general to work. But, we don't get to make the rules. We just get to sit here and bitch about them.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like,
and then we play by them, and people can't get mad at folks playing by the rules. We got a cattle payment. This was just drought relief, and
I think would you tell me you got like $350,000 or something?
Yeah, we're looking at condos down at the beach.
That's
It was not that much. It paid for a fraction of my fertilizer I've used there. I put on my pasture, my hay ground this spring.
Yeah.
Which y'all helped me out on my hay that I had on the ground on Sunday.
Oh yeah, you got rain on.
Well, no, I didn't. It didn't rain. I mean, it rained. It like sprinkled for like 5 minutes.
Say it did a little sprinkle. Didn't mess you up.
Y'all spread fertilizer on Sunday and it scared the rain off.
That's true. Yeah, because I did. I had all my corn side dressed, and it looked really rainy.
Which while they were doing that, they fertilized all of our Bermuda grass. Both.
Yeah, I didn't know if they would get to it because their spreader was buried in my cornfield.
I saw the pictures, but I was sitting on the back porch grilling. I was like, damn, it's rain, because I just cut hay the day before. But ended up, it rained less than 1/10 of an inch.
Well, and I was actually kind of hoping we'd miss that rain, because I was like, man, I've got some beans and stuff they've been sitting in wet. And it's like, man, I'm not going to be mad if we miss this rain. And I wanted to get done. And now we're done. If everything will come up, sorry to my hay guys, but I'm good with it. Let's just get some consistent rains now. Not sorry for you.
Rain all next week.
Yeah. See, that'd be great if everything comes up and it does that. But, man, I am trying to establish my operation, like I said, in a way to where I'm resilient to as much things as I possibly can be. And I got some statistics here. This kind of blew my mind a little bit, because I've shared, like, equipment costs were really hitting me hard. This is out of 2024. This is the last year they've kind of figured this up. So for corn, large farm, 1,000, they're considering 1,000 plus acres large, which technically is, because I think the average farm in America, they consider like 450 acres. So 1,000 acre farm, how much do you think 1,000 acre corn farm is spending per acre for equipment costs?
I mean, because you've talked about getting yours down to what, about $55, $60 an acre?
Yeah, right now I'm at $72 an acre. I'm trying to get it down. Actually, now I'm trying to get it down to about $35 an acre.
The average, I'm going to say $178
an acre.
178.
Yeah, that actually really shocked me.
Damn.
That's for large farms. What do you think farms under $250 or under 250 acres are averaging?
I would imagine it's a whole lot higher than that.
It's $185 an acre.
Yeah. Not a whole lot. You said 178?
$178 an acre. I don't know how the hell they're doing it.
Yeah, damn. Like, what are they running? Like 4X9s?
And they got to be, you got what I've always kind of seen and been told was you either have real estate notes or you have equipment notes.
So just because explain this to me like I'm 5 kind of thing. Is that like, okay, I'm a 1,000-acre grower and I have, you know, $100,000 of equipment notes this year.
Yes.
And so I have $100 an acre in that.
Yeah.
So it's just your notes that you have outstanding for that year.
Yes. You take all of them, you've added them up, and you divide it by your acreage.
So if you're super stout or just running really old equipment, everything's paid for.
It's like nothing.
Like, can you literally have zero? Like you owe nothing?
No,
because you still have costs for maintenance. And repair.
You know, I did that YouTube video on the equipment cost per acre.
You did, and I watched it, but
you're gonna, even paid for stuff is gonna have a cost. You know, your fuel, your repair.
So your fuel goes into that too.
You like to figure in a little bit of that, which is
I don't know if fuel was a separate category or that went into equipment cost.
Some guys put it into equipment cost. Now for tax reasons, in taxes, you have a fuel tab, so you'd pull that out. But like your cost of running equipment would be factored into your equipment cost per acre. $178 an acre shocks me because
does that include fuel cost and that sort of thing?
It says these costs include depreciation, interest, taxes, insurance, repairs, fuel, and custom hire.
Okay, so that may make a little more sense.
Across typical Midwest farms, machinery expenses rose from this is in 2021. Machinery expenses rose from $136 an acre to about $171 an acre in 2024.
So pretty much that's everything it takes you to put in a crop minus your seed, your chemical, your fertilizer and your rent.
Yes.
Right. Like it's okay.
Now that doesn't include like crop insurance because this says
I forget. There's so many damn hidden expenses.
There is a lot. I have shit come out of my bank. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Crop insurance. Yeah, I forget about crop insurance. And
178 is pretty brutal because my goal actually now is to get mine down close to that. $50 is what I've said. I want to be between $35 and $50 an acre. Now what I've kind of figured, my method of attack is going to be to get everything paid for and have just one note. So because shit wears out, like my planter right now, I was telling Dad today, man, it never fails. By the time I get to the end of planting season, I have that shit, like it'll be shit duct taped on there. Like I have set this thing up just to survive till I get done. And
you need that heated shop or you can rebuild it all winter long.
It would be nice because the shed over there at the birdhouse has them big ass open sides and it's cold as shit in there trying to work in the winter. But I'm going to that planter's paid for now. I was telling Dad today, I said, I'm going to have to basically rebuild a lot of that planter. And he said, well, good thing about it being paid for, you can afford to rebuild a lot of it. And I said, yeah. And that's the plan. Like, the red planters, I know what to do on them. I know how to work on them. And so that's basically what I'm going to do. And I have found myself actually less and less interested in new equipment. Actually, what I've even thought, like me and you, I think have talked about it, but I kind of find myself, the old iron is appealing to me a little more these days.
Shit. I use my brand new, which hay rake is a super simple piece of equipment. God dang, because I've always worn or ran old worn out ones.
You get spoiled.
Like our dads have had some like that. They've got a pretty good hay rake now, but like golly, a couple of the ones that we used to use, like when I first started, like man, they've been welded all over. They had all kinds of slack in them and hydraulics kind of half-assed worked and were like,
I used to run a chain between them.
I have a way better rake that I need for my needs, just a bunch of cow hay. But buddy, hell, it's got flashing lights on it.
On the rake.
Because they delivered it to me last fall and like I have not touched it until yesterday. I mean, I was like, I probably should hook this thing up.
I didn't know any rakes had lights.
I didn't either. And I was like having to cut the zip ties to plug the hydraulics up. I was like, what's this other thing? Like, it should just be a hydraulic plug. Like, hell, this is lights. And I plugged it in. Like, hell, when I go down the road, I can flash. Which, hell, reminds me, which they weren't behind me, so they couldn't see the rake lights anyway. I had a car. It's one of my neighbors. Tried to pull out in front of me.
Oh, shit.
Going the same direction I was going. So I understand, like, they didn't want to be behind me after I passed their house.
Yeah.
But literally, it's about a half mile from their house to the stop sign where traffic splits anyway. So they're like coming down their driveway, and that little M4 Kubota will roll. Like, it does about 27 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Especially when you're pulling something as light as a rake. It doesn't like having a load behind it, but so I'm rolling, and they're coming down their driveway, and like we're going to basically like T-bone if they don't stop. And I'm like, they see me. I'm in this. It's not a huge tractor, but relative to a car, it's huge. And I got my flashing lights. It's orange. I mean,
it's hard to miss
it. And I could tell like they got to the end of the driveway, and I guess I could have been like polite and like checked up and been like waved them out. Like, hell no, I'm rolling on, and literally we're going our separate ways a half mile. And I was like, they kind of hesitated, and then they like it's like they kind of thought about it, and then they were going to pull. I'm like, oh no, we would have kept on. I was like, what are you doing?
Did you wave at them or anything?
No, because I mean it's one of my neighbors. I was like, God dang, I was like,
you didn't brandish your pistol.
I was like, what the hell? Like literally, it's a half mile, and I'm doing 30. I think you barely drive 40 on that road anyway.
Yeah.
Like, good Lord.
No, that's
anyway.
you gotta love it.
But I was like, you don't need flashing lights on a rake. Well, hell, maybe you do.
Well, and look, and I'm not saying the nice shit ain't nice, but
my old worn out rake, it had all kinds of quirks, and I was totally honest to the guy that bought it from me. But it was so nice yesterday. I was like, I literally have not got out. Only time I got out of the seat was to pick up a shed deer antler I saw.
Yeah. No, and that's how it was the first year I got my combine, that 680. I didn't have to work on it at all. And I remember like, man, this is pretty sweet. But like, there is also something that's cool to me about like there's a dude, I was looking on Facebook Marketplace the other day. Not that I got the money to buy anything, but I was just kind of looking on there, and there was an old 4840. And the 48, it had pretty good horsepower. That's probably 185 to maybe knocking on the door 200 horsepower. And man, this thing is really, really shitty looking exterior. But he said mechanically it's in good shape and all that. He's not asking very much money at all. And I was like, man. And then even, on here, you do YouTube thing. I was kind of like, man, a cool YouTube series would be restoring this old tractor.
Yeah.
And so I have kicked around the idea. I'm like, man, if I had the money, I'd love to buy like this old 4840. And it would be a great tractor. Like Dad and I have talked. See, we could use another tractor, but we want one to run a drill. And a 4840 could handle a 20-foot drill.
Running a 5400.
Yep. And you could run that. It could pull, like, we got a bush hog. Like, there's lots of little things you could use a tractor like that for. I'm not going to put, like, my planter. My planter, the hydraulic system of my R Series tractor is so much better. There is a lot of things. Like, Dad was having a lot of trouble out of his planter. They had an 8330 he was running it on. Plenty of horsepower, but he was having just problems. And they had that 8345R. And like a lot of people probably be like, man, that's overkill for a planter tractor. But the 8330 had an injector or something go down. So Dad had to hook the planter up to this 8345. And again, it's an R Series. R Series has upgraded hydraulics. And the planter ran like a top. Now, his 2140 planter is all hydraulic driven. Like mine has a PTO shaft on it because I use a 1245. And so his doesn't have PTO shaft, so it relies entirely on the tractor's hydraulic performance. And that R Series, shit, it could handle it like a champ. So, that's the kind of stuff, like, I'm not going to get rid of my R Series and go to like a 4840 to run my planter because I would want to jump off a bridge.
Yeah, because those 54, it's all ground driven. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
One, as long as you got the power to pull it.
We could put a 3-point hitch on the back of your Jeep. And if we can pull it with that Jeep, your Jeep could pull that 5400. And so, but I've thought about that. I'm like, man, and I think I've shared on here, everybody else around here was flying American flags. I was flying a pirate flag. I like doing things differently. Like I've got a LH Farms logo that I've wanted to put on stuff, and it's actually a skull. Like I'm like, man, yeah, I like it. But I've thought about, man, you get like a 4840, like it'd be cool to like black it out. Like have one that's like black. Like don't even, if I restored this thing, it ain't going to look like a green and yellow John Deere. This thing's going to be black. And like when somebody sees it, they're like, damn, if Satan drove a 4840, that'd be what it would look like. And so that's kind of, there's something about that I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a devil worshiper, but I just think like a murdered out 4840 would look pretty sick.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'll rephrase that. If when Jesus came down in Revelation, this would be the 4840 that he would be driving.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Like the sword coming out of his mouth. And he'd be doing that with sitting in a blacked out 4840.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's cool when you said our buddy Aaron Winger, he had like an old school John Deere that he actually had retrofitted, and he did plant with it. And it was badass looking. Like he had totally restored it. There's something really, I don't know, there's something cool about that to me.
That's what which not near the horsepower, when I had that old 4030.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was just the coolest tractor now. But it was kind of the same thing. Not that I needed like extreme hydraulic performance or anything, but it was just, it was not, no more of a mechanic than I am. It was not, I had a couple of little breakdowns, one was not, I mean, it wasn't a major breakdown, but it had me down. And I had a couple others that I was able to fix. But I was like, okay, I'm going to the field and it's going to rain the next day and I need to get hay raked and baled. Like, I need a reliable tractor.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, like, again, I'm not going to get rid of my R series. Like, that tractor's going to be, this would be like, I need some good horsepower. And it's one of them too, you could crank up. I wish our buddy Timmy Kenny was still alive, man. He could crank that thing up, probably have 225 horsepower. But that's the thing, like you could get pretty good horsepower out of this tractor. The best thing would be to find like a 4955 or something that's got front wheel assist, like an old 4000. Cause there's something cool about the old 4000 series.
Yeah.
Like they're just cool tractors.
Round cab.
It's just cool, man. But I don't know. I think about that. And I do. Yeah. I like the media stuff. Obviously we're doing the podcast, but I'm like, man, it'd be a cool series to do like a build on this tractor.
Yeah. Cause
it's pretty shitty looking. Like if I rolled it, but I can only imagine what my wife would say. Like if she saw me drive in, cause it didn't even have a door. There's no door on it. The cab looks like Satan took a shit in the cab, in this thing right here. Like the cab is just absolutely just awful inside. I wish it ain't had a door on it. So, I mean, it's just been weathering. It looks really shitty. Like my wife would be like,
I assume the air doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm certain. Cause
it wouldn't matter if it did.
It wouldn't matter. I'd be scared to turn it on. It might blow a rat out or something on you, but like it would probably,
so would you put a door on it and redo the whole?
I would want to redo it all. Like when we went to you remember what, I can't remember if we walked it when y'all were there or if it was after y'all had to leave. In the Louisville Farm Show, we walked into this one back room and they had whole cab retro kits. Did you see that?
No.
So it was really cool because they had one there for a Case 7140, which is the tractor I had and sold. I would kill to have that tractor back. But it was like a sweet, it was a new interior. And they make them for all the old series. Like they make them for a 4840. And I'm like, man, that'd be kind of cool to buy this tractor. I mean, I'm thinking like, if you could buy this tractor for like $5,000, really cheap. Mechanically, you would want it to be good because it would suck if you bought it and then you had to spend $15,000 on the transmission.
Yeah.
But like, man, you could retrofit that cab. I would want to fix the air. I'd want it to be a comfortable tractor when you got done. Maybe put one of those ass massaging seats in there.
Yeah.
I think it'll like finger your asshole while you drive.
I don't know about that.
Have you seen speaking of that, have you seen the bike theft guys that they like rig up the bikes?
I have.
You seen where they put the like spike under the seat when they sit on it?
One of those like staged.
Man, I don't know. Cause I feel like sometimes I'm like, man, it's going to like kill somebody.
Yeah,
like impale them.
Like, they're going to get sued. But that's why I'm like, this is all staged.
Yeah. And maybe it is, but I don't know. I thought the same, but yeah. So I don't know. There are parts out there now that you can like totally rebuild old tractors. It's as easy now as like rebuilding an old muscle car.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think about that from time to time. I'm just tired, man. Right now, I think I've shared before, like I've been paying notes and repair bills. Like used to, it was like you either pay notes or repair bills. Hell, everything is so expensive now that by the time I can afford it to buy it, then it needs work.
Yeah.
So I'm paying both. So it's kind of like something's got to give.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the little story from the cattle world this week is I guess it was really just rumor. I don't know if Trump had actually said anything, but it was speculated or whatever that he may be lifting some of the tariffs on the South American beef. All about, trying to, make beef more affordable at the supermarket, which, of course, the U.S. Cattlemen's Association, I thought, had a real good response. And they said regarding recent rumors of increased beef imports and tariff reductions. And where exactly did they say it? U.S. producers are only now gaining enough confidence to remain in the industry in the form of market signals like fair cattle prices and strong beef demand, which are essential to rebuilding and sustaining a stronger domestic herd over the long term, which they went on to say. There's a lack of data to support the idea that allowing excess beef imports, which are already set to hit record highs this year, into the U.S. market will result in lower consumer prices at the meat case. However, there is evidence to support or to show that an increase in beef imports signals to producer that their market is shrinking and they should therefore exit. So it's a long-term major negative for the consumer and the beef industry. Because the imports don't necessarily lower the price for the consumer, but they damage your producers. Because right now there's every incentive in the world
to get into cattle,
to expand your herd if you're already in cattle. If maybe you were thinking, I can't make ends meet, I need to get out. Like, no, I'm staying in. Like, there's every signal out there right now for the U.S. cattle herd to expand. But if you start just saying, no, and not that they're meaning to say y'all don't expand, but they're saying, we're going to import all this.
It makes it more volatile.
Well, and I go back to like the egg producers. I really felt bad for them. Vance Crowe pointed this out back when there was the egg crisis. Egg prices were, they were unaffordable. Everybody was, crying from the mountaintops. And, which I looked at it immediately. I was like, well, at least the egg people, the ones that aren't dealing with avian flu,
are making some money.
At least the sun's finally shining on them.
Yeah.
Well, no, what did we do? We went and imported all kinds of egg and egg products from overseas.
Yeah.
It's like, well, damn,
we wonder why nobody wants to be a farmer.
Well, it's like, I feel, because I'm relatively new on my own operation being into cattle, but like all these guys that have been through like decades and decades, they're like, are finally getting a leg up.
Yeah.
And then, the government swoops in and is like, not so fast, my friend.
Yeah.
Like we're just going to import a shitload more. Like,
so let me ask you a question on that. Because I think I told you, we went to that farm tour the other day, and I have every intention of getting more cattle. I want to fence in back there around my house. I've got 8 head of cattle right now, but I'd like to double that at least. And so because we hear them say we're at the lowest cattle numbers in history and all this, what can they do? If let's say the government was like, okay, we're not going to import beef. We want to address the lack of cattle head on domestically. What can we do to either encourage more cattle farmers or make it easier for cattle farmers? Like, is there something that they can do? Is there something they should do?
I think just stay the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
I think right now the market is, the cure for high prices is high prices.
But are more people getting into it?
I think so.
Do you?
I think you're seeing some folks expanding that are already in. Even right around here, I know some row crop guys that either hadn't messed with cattle in a long time or have not ever really had their own cattle that are now starting to kind of dabble in it or are doing it.
Yeah.
I've shared, I was renting pasture from a neighbor because they kind of temporarily got out. Now they're back. I think you're going to see. And I talked to more row crop guys that hadn't necessarily totally gone in on it because they've always been scoffed. We ain't never having cattle. And now they're like, well, I'm looking at this 200-acre block of ground that we own right here at the home place that was pasture 30 years ago, but we took the fences out and plowed it up and been plowing it since then. Well, Now we're losing $150 to $200 an acre the last few years, plant crops on it. And, 2 or 3 guys I go to church with are telling me how much they're selling weaned calves for, or heck, calves that ain't even weaned, just straight off a cow. And I'm doing the figures in my head, how many we can run. And I'm like, oh my God. So I think you are, no. And that's what I say, like, don't screw this up.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know you're probably asking, could they do, and I've heard of people talk about this, USDA start some programs to say, if you, cost share on, if you're going to put some ground into pasture, which there's already programs that, I've talked about through the NRCS, or if you're going to fence cattle, certain types of fencing, but it's limited. It's like for cross fences, fencing them out of waterways, stuff like that. But now if they just said, hey, we'll just your perimeter fences, whatever, that would help. Because that's the thing about cattle. It's not,
logistics are a little
it's
more
not like if all of
involved.
a sudden there's, Milo was worth a bunch of money this year. Well, hell, you just
plant it.
Make a few adjustments on your planter and keep going. It really doesn't cost you much of nothing to switch from being a corn farmer to a Milo farmer.
Yeah.
But to go from being a corn farmer to a cattle farmer, like, okay, I got to put in all kinds of fences and make sure they got water, and I've got sorting pens, and there's a lot of infrastructure that you have to build up.
Yeah.
So they could, but I don't even necessarily think they need to do that. If they really want to be aggressive, maybe. But you just don't do stupid stuff like making it easier to bring in a competing product from overseas.
All right, yeah, but I agree. What if, and they
regulation, like stop with the stupid shit like the mandatory EID.
Yeah,
and like no.
So when I was, I remember when I first got my farm loan with FSA. Our good buddy Steve that we've talked about in the past, he was like, please, for which this was back in 2014 or 2015. And he was like, please tell me you're not going to cattle farm. I remember that was his exact words. Like, because when I took out the loan to buy this farm, I was in the beginning farmer program. So they had like a beginning farmer operating line or operating loan, and they would do for you as well. And it had really low interest, like 2% interest. And you had to give them a crop plan. And that's when he was like, for the love of God, tell me you're not doing cattle. And now cattle was not very profitable back in 2015. And also he was like, it's just hard. Like it's hard to do cattle because it's, if I was doing cow calf, then it's like, well, all right, I'm going to need like 2 to 3 years to pay this shit back.
Oh yeah.
But I'm almost wondering, and I don't know I haven't looked at FSA's like operating line a long time because honestly, it was like 400 pages you had to fill out.
Yeah.
But I am wondering, what if like they had like a cattle specific operating line that was like, what if they're like, look, we desperately need more cattle operators. We're going to offer this line. It's going to be a $250,000 line or whatever they'd have said, but it's going to be 1% interest, like damn near zero. Do you think
something? But it has to be
for cattle or livestock? Like it's got to be, or let's say just for cattle. Like it's like, this is a cattle specific program. Row crop farmers, you can't come. And it could even be a situation like with their Tennessee Ag Enhancement Funds, where like if you build a hay barn, and they pay for a part of that hay barn. If they show up and you're using that hay barn for something else, then you got to pay that money back. Like they kind of audit you, and I'm okay with that if you do this. So like I almost feel like something like that would help, because right now you're having to spend more to get into cattle than you ever have.
I think a lot of that could, but this goes back to the Ronald Reagan, one of the 9 most dangerous words in the English language.
We're from the government and we're here to help.
Yeah. Like just stay out of the way. Let the market do what the market's going to do. Because right now the market is screaming, expand the cow.
Yeah.
Don't do something stupid like, again, impede an inferior, competing product from overseas, or lift the tariffs on it to make it easier to import even more.
Yeah.
Especially when the people importing the meat.
And beef's not even, like you've said before, beef is not that expensive. Like for what it is.
Get so mad, they're like, it's more expensive than it used to be.
Okay.
Name me corn, or take corn out of the equation. Tell me something that doesn't cost a hell of a lot more today than it did 5-6 years ago.
When you buy like a nice T-shirt, what do you pay for it now? Like $35?
I've actually sworn off buying a T-shirt.
Well, you have a billion of them. I know
Yeah,
you said, but like, do you think $35 is unheard of for a nice T-shirt?
No.
All right.
Like a
good quality.
I still feel like if I just was like, didn't have a shirt on my back, I could probably find one cheaper than 35. But like
you say, it's even like a Made in USA. It's like the Chads or one of them nice.
Oh, and I'm probably expect those to be
$50.
Yeah, 45. I was gonna say, but yeah,
I'd pay that for. All right, when you were in high school, a T-shirt was like $20.
Oh, that'd have been a damn good one too.
Yeah, you go to Hollister. I remember going to Wolf Chase Mall buying like a T-shirt for $18-20.
If you were getting like
Abercrombie and Fitch.
But if you were just getting like just a
FUBU
T-shirt, like a Hanes T-shirt, like come on, like $9.99.
I was like super cheap. Did you get any FUBU shirts?
No, man. Trying to think, what was like the no fear shirts?
Oh yeah,
those were big.
With the eyes or whatever.
Oh, they had all kinds of different.
Or tap out, the tap out shirts.
That was a little like I was never into the tap out. I had several of the no fears. Abercrombie and American Eagle, that kind of stuff.
I actually had some Affliction shirts for a little while.
I see the Affliction and tap outs are all the same to me.
They're very much the same.
Were they different demographics that went for those?
No, not really.
It was all like wannabe MMA
The tap out guys were worse because I feel like they were the ones that they just wanted to start fights all the time. Affliction,
they only made them in like extra small, and medium, didn't they?
No, the tap outs were huge. Guys would wear the big, huge ones. It'd be like the real long shirts.
Oh, okay.
Now the Affliction were the tight ones, but now I liked the Affliction because it had a lot of skeletons and stuff on there. Now I didn't know they still made Affliction, but my wife and I, we went to Wolf Chase Mall last year. Hadn't been in there in years. And when
I picture an Affliction shirt, I picture like a guy, goatee.
Yep.
Probably got the sleeves cut off of it.
Oh man, you ain't cutting the sleeves off of one of them shirts.
Okay.
They were like $65.
Okay, well, maybe he doesn't. Well, okay, the sleeves are just so tight that they're cutting off his circulation.
Yeah.
You can see like his generic tribal tattoo or barbed wire. He never misses arm day, but he probably doesn't do leg day.
I'm gonna say he ain't doing leg day.
And he's definitely got a spray tan.
Yeah, I was gonna say spray tan. Yeah, you gotta have spray tan.
Axe body spray.
Yeah. Do they still make that?
Probably got some kind of an earring or a gauged out ear.
Yeah, maybe. See, when I wore them, I definitely didn't do leg day.
Only wears his hat backwards.
Yeah.
It'll be middle of July, sun beaming down. He'll have his hat turned around backwards, and if he hadn't got a sunglass, he'll be holding his hand up to shield it.
What about an eyebrow piercing? You remember those?
Oh yeah, he would I could see him with one of those.
Yeah. So when I wore them,
it's kind of like if you opened up the Webster's dictionary to douchebag, like that's who I picture being.
Especially today, because I didn't know they were still made. And we went into Buckle.
Oh yeah, today he's like 45.
I was gonna say today he's like a divorced dad.
Yeah, like he's my age, maybe just a little older.
Yeah. Yeah, he's that is it because again, man, I wore them and
what's they'll say? He's got his kid's name tattooed on his back, but no custody.
Yes. Well, I loved one of mine, man. I had a really awesome shirt. It had like just a pile of skulls or something going down one side of it.
He probably gets on Instagram and underneath all like the OnlyFans girls that post pictures on there and like comments on all of them.
Yeah, like hey baby. Yeah.
Like he's really
he actually has a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's commenting on every Sydney Sweeney photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. One of these days she's gonna reply.
Yeah, calling her baby. Like that's the ones that really weirded me out. I'm like, dude, you'll never meet this woman. But yeah, no, but they still make them, and they're still just as gaudy and awful as they ever were. And they're like $65 or $70 for a T-shirt. But I don't see a lot of only people I see wearing Affliction today is mostly Mexicans. Because some of them are really colorful. They're like not colorful, they're really loud. And look, I like a loud shirt. I wear my retro rifle, different things like that. But it's a different, like it's kind of got that Miami Vice or I'm into the 80s kind of Miami Vice kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know, man. It was different times, man. Different times back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do have a company too, but you got any other topics?
No, man, I think it's
get into cattle, guys.
It's nearly 11 o'clock here local time.
Yeah, I got to go in and edit this shit.
Yeah, I messed us up. We were going to record last night, and I had other obligations, and I was trying to think. I actually had, as I keep my running list of.
I got one.
Oh no!
Yeah, actually,
I don't have one. I thought I had another one I added to mine. I'm bad about I'll have one and I won't write it down. Here's like my running note for like the podcast ever since we started.
People have been asking for a list.
Well, and it's not just companies; it's topics. All kinds of shit. Like
it'd be hard to sort through it.
A list of all the companies that don't want to
work with
us.
Yeah.
All the ones I've cussed out in emails now.
If you guys are listening and you run a company and you'd like to work with us, reach out to us. We're open. We're open to it. But we, there was something else I was going to say. I don't remember what it is. Let me fire up old Joe here.
Joe.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
All right. Made in America. Actually, this is a cool thing. And I even met these people and I'm wearing their hat. Metzer Farms.
Okay. Yeah.
So have you heard of them?
Yes.
All right. So I had not met them or anything. And I met them this weekend. We took the kids to the farm day and we were going around and there was this one area and they had a bunch of ducks and stuff. And this Metzer Farms is pretty bad to the bone. They are a family farm, and they raise ducks, geese, and chickens, and you can order them. They got a website. You can go in there and you can order them, and they will literally ship them to you. Like, I didn't really know that they did that, but they will ship them like straight to you. And they actually have ducks, geese, turkeys, chickens, guineas. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff.
So they were at the farm day.
Yeah.
They're in California.
They've got some of them have moved to Memphis so that they can ship like basically anywhere in the United States.
Surely they didn't move to Memphis.
They live in Memphis. They did. South Parkway.
S-O.
No, I don't know where in Memphis, but they actually did move to Memphis. Because that's what they were telling us. They were like, because one of the Turners there was like,
it's not even going to be in Tennessee anymore.
I know they're going to secede and they're going to be whatever they're going to be. Apparently they want Nashville and Memphis to secede and form their own, but they don't even like, how's that going to work? They're not even like side by side.
I mean, I guess just because the government, the state, hell, we don't need them.
Well,
I'd allow it.
But how would you do that? Would you like draw circles around them and put like one little road to join them? Like, cause they're not even.
Well, I think like part of Russia's like that.
Oh, really?
Like it's really weird.
Well, before we get down that rabbit hole, y'all check out Metzer Farms. Go to metzerfarms.com. It's METZER farms.com. You can order this stuff. And like I said, they have a location in California and a location in Tennessee. They've done that so that they can literally ship them anywhere. They actually told me that they ship or raise 1 million ducks a year.
Wow.
That is insane. 1 million ducks a year. They've been in business since 1972, so almost as long as Bobby Lee's been alive. So that's
I had the guy at Nafy's tell me I didn't look 42 until I took my hat off.
You took your hat off. There was a comedian I was listening to the other day, and he was like, I saw somebody, he had on like a Grateful Dead shirt, and he said he saw some people, and he was like, dang, they were like, man, you look really good for your age. And he was like, thanks, I'm 38 years old. And he said, they thought that I was in my 50s. And he said, when I told them I'm 38, they were like, damn, you look like shit. So maybe at least you can get that kind of reaction.
Yeah, no, that's true.
What are you hunting over there?
Well, I didn't want to be totally wrong. Yeah. As a part of Russia, there's a part of Russia. It almost sounds like my wife's saying. Kaliningrad is part of Russia, but geographically separated from the main territory.
Oh.
It's an exclave, meaning it's a piece of a country completely surrounded by other countries.
Oh, wow.
It is not connected to the rest. Like, it's weird. Politically, it's fully Russian territory. Geographically, it's separate from the main contiguous Russian landmass.
Well, so they could do it. They just call it Memville.
I'm sure it's kind of like
They just call it Crimeville.
Well, a lot of people don't realize this. I was telling somebody the other day. It was when we were also at Turner Farm for the other event. Parts of Tennessee are west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Part of our county, Tipton County,
it's technically in Arkansas.
Well, no, it's not in Arkansas. It's Tennessee.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's technically Tennessee, but it's kind of, you got to go to Arkansas.
Everybody thinks it's Arkansas. And I mean, for practical purposes, it might as well be.
I wonder, does our county have to go over there?
So like they vote in our Tennessee elections, like their votes.
But does our county public, do the public works have to go do stuff over there?
That's a good question. I think as far as, because my dad's all big into that, a few people, and it's a very rural area. I mean, it's right on the river. The few people that live there, I think that they don't bus those kids all the way over here to go to school. I think Tipton County has to I think they got something worked out where they pay for those kids because it's technically Tipton County's responsibility to educate them.
Yeah.
If they live in an area where it's not practical for them.
They probably go to school in Arkansas.
Right.
Yeah.
But they got something worked out. But yeah, whenever for elections, they vote in our elections.
Huh. There you go.
But it's because the river has changed course. And the opposite is true. There's parts of Arkansas that are east of the Mississippi.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's obviously right on the river, but yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, guys, check out
geography lesson from some couple of guys that are not
geographists.
Geographers.
Guys, check out Metzer Farms. They're really good folks. Like I said, I met them this weekend. If you're wanting to get some ducks or chickens or anything like that, order from them. They're good folks. And also, we want you guys to do a few things for us. First, we want you to leave us 5-star ratings on Apple and Spotify. Hit the follow button on there. Subscribe to the show. And guys, share this show with your friends, please. Also, we are on TikTok now. We had an old page. It got kind of lost in the mix. We've started a new TikTok. You can check us out on there. Again, we're on Instagram, Facebook, all those places, YouTube. Check it out. Give us some love. Share them out with your friends. That really helps us out a lot. Yeah. So do that. And what else?
Check out agzaga.com. Your bayonet wrap, all your other farm needs, supplies, whatever. Talk Dirt 20 discount code, $20 off, $50 minimum order, and free shipping.
There you go, guys. Do it.
You've been listening to Talk Dirt to Me with your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee. If you enjoyed this episode, we ask that you subscribe and leave a review. And we'll catch you next time.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.